And my kids know that when I don't have my phone, what do I often say? Where's my phone, Mom?
Even young kids understand.
And we say, it's right here.
Yeah. How connected we are to technology.
I'm gonna have my phone out, just in case, because you never know.
Could you go a day without your phone?
No, when I leave it at home, I feel naked. I feel like something's been cut off of me.
McCool can't imagine how she used to operate without her smartphone, but she works to balance her time.
My phone down when I'm with the kids, but I find myself checking it, taking a glance at what's happening, if there's downtime, or if I'm putting someone to bed and waiting for them to brush their teeth, I glance at my email.
She has a 7-year-old son and 5 and 2-year-old daughters.
Come here. You want to see my phone? Okay, here. Give it to me.
The 2-year-old can't use the phone well, but she sure wishes she could.
They all know the phone is a precious treat.
The digital world is changing the way we interact with others.
And send
David Borchini chairs the Human-Centered Computing Department at IUPUI. He examines the design of interactive technologies and how people use them, from work to leisure, to health, to entertainment, to everyday life.
We like to basically invent the futures, possible futures where technology is revolving around the needs of the person and not the other way around.
There are 2 dimensions to his research, the human dimension and the computing dimension.
Always difficult to predict, who has the crystal ball, but you can see how people are reacting to this evolution. So the human side is interesting. You go in the park with your kids, and it's very easy to see, a couple with walking in the park. Each of the partners has a dog. Keeps the leash on one hand. On the other hand, he has a cell phone. They don't talk to each other. They just walk their dogs in parallel, and they go across the park for half an hour. So this is a situation, a scenario, if you like, that probably even 7, 8 years ago did not exist. So I see an evolution in terms of appropriation and then pervasiveness of the usage in a variety of contexts.
Technology is all around us.
The fact that we are wired with technology changes the expectations that we have of one another. You're always on the go. It's a no-brainer that people will have to reach on your cell phone. You cannot say, well, my work, I'm always on the go, but the only way I expect phone calls is in my office. So it doesn't work like that.
I talk on the phone the entire way to work and the entire way home every day. And every time I'm in the car, that's when I talk. Because I don't feel like I have time. I can't talk when my kids are running around crying, needing me, being busy, and I want to be present. Like, that's the other hard thing. You want to be present when you're with your family, but you're trying to balance. Hearing that, I know, I'm like, what? Who's texting? I don't think that's my phone. Something's what is that?
Bill Yorger is president of Retirement Services at One America. He's seen the evolution of electronic communication technologies in the workplace.
Electronic communication used to be a nice to have, and currently it's very much a have to have. And not an hour goes by that not checking an email, responding to an email, a text, and that's a far cry from years ago where you had paper messages. And so it really, we take it for granted, but it's pretty much in our wiring and in our DNA.
Some people perceive the email as a very, very formal mean of communication. Other people perceive the email as a very informal mean, with respect to maybe sending you, a formal letter, etc., or calling you. So I think resetting the expectation is a great work that I think is always in flux.
Brooke Chambers and Tara Malarkey are senior Indiana University students. They use electronic communication technologies every day.
I text all the time throughout the day, from when I wake up to when I go to bed.
I definitely text throughout the whole day.
You may find students who are more comfortable in sending text, and they feel that the email is already too formal. Okay, but how much can you send in the text, and how much conversation you can do?
The 2 IU students text because they like to, not because they have to.
I love meeting people face to face. I'm more like that kind of person. I'm more text out of just because it's something I like to do.
The Pew Research Center reports nearly 2/3 of American adults own smartphones today.
Now it's just so instantaneous. We're really living in an era of time compression. Everything is, it's not tomorrow, it's not later today. I need an answer right now.
If I actually have like something big to say, I'm like, that's not even worth texting them. Like, I'll just call them.
This is something that they need to understand, that, you know, time and latency are shrinking and shrinking in everything that we do online. And this can open up, you know, more opportunities because you have more time.
The number of emails, the busyness, the meetings, but then I look at the output. While we've grown the business, I personally don't know if I'm any more productive.
People are tuning into electronic communication technologies daily. They check Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter every day. And that's just social media sites alone, according to the Pew Research Center.
Face-to-face conversations are very essential for the development of a person, not only because in this conversation I can know you better, what you're looking for, what are your needs, what, you know, your approach to things, but I can also know myself better, because when I talk, when I converse, this helps me clarify my thought and clarify my understanding of the reality that I'm examining.
They'll send an email from one cube to the other, and we've got 12 floors of this, of the cube on top of the cube.
One America is currently moving from a cube-based environment to more of an open concept by redesigning the floor space.
We do have people that are literally a cube or two away that will send the email. And it's just as easy to get up and walk over, but part of the challenge with the electronic communication, we've lost that face-to-face aspect. And so we've tried to encourage that, but that hasn't quite worked. We'd like to balance the email for important information, but still get back to that face-to-face discussion.
So where is all of this electronic communication taking us? Are people beginning to think that a break from the phones and the email and the social media would be a nice change?
You could see that people can arrive at a plateau of user experience. So at the plateau of maybe starting to liberate themselves from these technologies. So you see articles of people say, you know, go 1 week, shut off your phone, don't do anything else. You will rediscover, you know, the value of walking, the value of your family, etc., etc. So there is ideas of liberation, you know, technologies. How to liberate oneself from technology to understand who we are.
We're all out to dinner and your friends are all on their phones, and that is something that really bothers me and something that I never try to have my phone out. Like when I'm out with my friends, I'm out with my friends. Like I'm not trying to like be on my phone and everything.
Everybody's kind of like behind their phones now. Like you don't actually get to know somebody like through text message. You have to like meet them face to face and kind of like get to know the person that way.
Face-to-face conversations, you know, is the nature's way to let you know how reality is much bigger than you, how the other person and the conversation with the other person goes beyond your measure. And so facing this, you are kind of forced to get out of your comfort zone and knowing more about yourself and about the other. And I think some use of the technology or some structure of the technology apparatus can take us a bit away from that and putting back in a comfort zone where apparently we are comfortable, but we are really getting away from this opportunity that we have to become more human.